Habit that truly transformed my relationship with food. So my name's Liv and I'm an online coach of over 9 years. I'm fully qualified, unlike a lot of fitness professionals on the internet these days. And I used to battle anorexia. I battled binge eating. I've also since then felt more into disordered eating rather than full eating disorders. So I've had all spectrums, and I battled food from probably the age of like 10 to 12 is when I'm conscious of starting to struggle with like overeating and binge eating. Delving into anorexia, I got diagnosed at the age of 14, and I battled that until around, I'd say, 20. The thing with anorexia they don't tell you is like, I don't fully believe you ever fully recover. I will always have thoughts in my head about wanting to be smaller, wanting to restrict. I will always have those thoughts. Obviously, my habits and behaviors are so strong now. I'm in such a good place with food. I don't have any fears of food. I will eat anything, anytime, anywhere. Like, the difference from the girl I was is insane. And the thing that has fixed it, and I think the thing that's fixed more of the disordered eating afterwards. So when I sort of recovered from anorexia around 21, let's say, I fell more into like emotional eating, comfort eating, which is quite common when you've been really restricted like that. Your body kind of finds other sources of coping with life, and often that can still be food, but in a slightly different way. So I felt more into that, and I really struggled for a long time with that, with binge eating, comfort eating, emotional eating, whatever we're kind of labeling it as. So for me, the thing that has transformed over, say, the last five or so years, and made my relationship with food so rock solid, is stopping skipping meals. So obviously we're not talking about actual eating disorders today, so I won't cover the anorexia and bulimia kind of side of things, but with the more disordered eating, I, as a busy PT, when I was like fully booked PTing, would just skip breakfast because I was too busy. I skipped lunch because I was too busy. I'd have a shake instead, or a smoothie instead. I would have dinner, or even skip dinner because again, I was too busy. I was such a grazer. I'd eat so many protein bars. Like, oh my God, looking back at my gut health, I'm not surprised I used to get so bloated because I had so many protein bars. But it was incredible to me how much I used to skip meals, and that would always lead to overeating later. It would always lead to restriction. It would lead to more food noise. A lot of my clients that struggle with their relationship with food, or when they come to me struggling with their relationship to food, is because they don't eat breakfast. Or it's because they don't really eat lunch, they just sort of graze. Or it's because they only really have dinner. Like, that's all the only meal they're having as such. It's just grazing all day. Stop skipping meals. Have 3 proper meals a day. I actually have 4 proper meals a day because I like food, I like feeling fueled, and I'm not a huge snacker, so I'd rather have proper meals. That's just what works for me. But stop skipping meals. A lot of people that fall into the emotional eating or the comfort eating or the late evening snacking will find they wake up and they're not hungry, so they skip breakfast. But then what you don't realize is that's like becoming a cycle. It's becoming a self-fulfilling prophecy where then you're hungry later, so then you overeat later on, or you end up emotionally eating like that evening, and before you know it, you're stuck in a cycle of constant restriction in the day, overeating at night. Our brains and bodies are designed to keep us alive. They're designed to keep us literally alive. So if you are under eating, you're under fueling, you're telling your brain life isn't safe, you're adding a bit of scarcity, and before you know it, your body will try and fight back and try and keep you alive and keep you safe. And it's going to make you want to eat more. It's going to make you hungrier. It's going to give you cravings. Eat regularly. Don't let yourself go too long without food. Even if you're not starving, try and have something. It does make a difference. A few of the small things is like slowing down my eating. Because I've always been so busy. Like, when I was at uni, I had 4 jobs and I'd work like 24/7. I got very busy very quickly as a personal trainer, and I was doing like 10 hours of PT every single day in classes, and it was nuts. And I've always just been someone that's very like go, go, go. So I've always struggled to eat slowly. And I still struggle with it a little bit, but eating slowly, chewing my food properly, trying to sit down to eat, doesn't always happen, but trying to sit down to eat, giving myself like 10 minutes. I'm really bad at like looking at my phone or quickly replying to a message or an email whilst I eat. Stopping that makes a huge difference. I'm more conscious of what I'm eating. I can like taste my food better, be more intuitive with my food. And it does take like 15 to 20 minutes for any sort of fullness signals to register. So it's really important to give yourself that time. And a few other things is I removed food rules. I stopped telling myself I couldn't eat past a certain time of the evening. I stopped telling myself I couldn't eat certain foods. I stopped demonizing foods. Like, I think there's a place for everything in your diet. Do I mostly live off chocolate and fried foods? Obviously not. Am I scared of chocolate and fried foods? No. A lot of clients, when they come to me, because if someone needs to lose quite a lot of weight, or their metabolism's like injured from previous dieting, or their hormones are a bit out of whack, we might need to be a bit stricter with food. I never tell anyone to cut anything out unless we absolutely have to, or it's like medically needed for whatever reason. But most of the time, clients can obviously include whatever they like. However, you will find that clients eventually then find they're slightly scared to add like more foods back in. It can be quite hard. A lot of my clients struggle more reverse dieting or getting back up to maintenance than they do necessarily in the deficit, because they've taught themselves that, if to get results, they can't eat loads of bread, or they can't eat loads of pasta or loads of cheese, whatever it might be. So sometimes it actually increasing those foods can be quite hard afterwards. So I do find the reverse diet phase after someone has got to their goal weight, where we increase their calories up and we sort of introduce these foods, is so vital to make sure that people know that they can eat these foods long term. Like, to maintain your weight, you can eat bread, you can eat pasta, you can drink wine, you can do all the things you want to do. Of course, you still need to get enough protein, fibre, you need to still make sure it's a balanced diet overall. But it's really important not to eliminate any food, not to have food rules, and just be more balanced. That will make such a difference. And if you struggle with comfort eating, emotional eating, you struggle with your relationship with food, please, I've got loads of information in my bio. Go and check that out. Drop me a comment below, reach out to me. My Instagram will also be in the caption, and I would love to give you some free support and advice, because I know what it's like to struggle. I know what it's like to be scared of food, to have so much food noise it consumes you, and just feel really lost with it. So if anyone needs any help or support, please do reach out.